Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. Really, this is what we're talking about. Everybody's talking about this perk again. This perk won't go away. This perk's in every fucking game you play. This perk is everywhere, man. This perk's everywhere. This is the coronavirus of Dead by Daylight right now. This perk's everywhere. It's like top 3 in usage on Nightlight, isn't it? People be doing this to you again. It's really happening to you again, killer players. It's really happening to you again. That the survivor community and all of their favorite shills are trying to convince you that this perk is fine. And that this perk isn't overpowered. And that this perk isn't bullshit. They're trying to really tell you that this perk isn't stupid. They're really doing it to you. Yeah, they're really doing this to us. Again. They really be trying to gaslight you and say that this perk isn't good. And meanwhile, it's in top 3 in usage. Everybody has it. Swift runs 4 copies of it. They are really trying to do the same thing again. They are really trying to pretend this isn't meta. They are really trying to pretend this perk sucks. It is absolutely astonishing to me that we can still sit here and do this to Killer in 2023. We've been dealing with this shit forever. Dead Hard 2.0 here is fucking just dominating the metagame. It's changing the distance gap between Killer and Survivor to fucking, what, 12%? 12%, bro. Let's think about this. Let's not say it like that. Instead of saying that it's a 3% movement speed increase, let's pretend it makes 115 Killer 110. How does that sound? Let's change the phrasing a little bit. No, Rosie, it's not 110. It's 112. It's 112. Yeah. That whopping 2%, bro. Yeah, nice. Whopping 2%. Oh, Rosie, made for this only 3%. That whopping 2%. It's always like the same number, man. So, what the fuck's your problem with this perk? There's a lot of things wrong with this perk. This perk, first of all, in terms of a design standpoint, let's not talk about the balance yet. Okay, well, let's begin with the design of the perk itself. The design of the perk made for this, you get an endurance off of a heal, right? You get that endurance effect off a heal for 12 seconds? It's that stupid effect where it gives the guy you heal endurance, or Buckle Up gives it to you both, right? It gives, or maybe it gives it to you, but whatever. There's that endurance off the heal thing. And so that's in my opinion, when I think of this perk, even though it's it shows Gabriel, he's running, bro. He's running. I don't understand what they were going for here. Were they thinking that the 3% wouldn't break the game, so they added that other endurance effect on top of it? This perk's 2 different perks in one. It's the fucking kiting perk to make the 115, 110 perk. It's that. And then it's the healing thing. It seems to me that they tried to fucking make the perk fucking... they tried to make it a healing perk that has a sub kind of kiting utility. They tried to make it it has a little bit of kiting utility, but the main thing that you're supposed to use it for is the heal and get the endurance. So it's the design seems to be the heal is what it's supposed to do, and then the 3% is just there because I don't know. But it's that. This is what it seems like. But it's supposed to be a healing perk, and it's supposed to be an anti-slug perk. But the thing about it is, that's not what it's being used for right now. This perk's designed of counter be an a healing perk, a slug perk, etc., etc. It's there to be a fucking kiting perk. The design of what it's supposed to be doing is not why people are using it. They're using it for that fucking 3% boost to the movement speed, which is not the intended design of this fucking thing. It really doesn't seem like it is. It's the endurance is what stands out. I don't understand why you even get the 3% fucking haste to begin with. Haste is so cancer. It's so cancer on both sides. On both fucking sides. Haste is such a band-aid fucking fix. Haste and endurance are quickly becoming this and hindered. Haste, hindered, and endurance are quickly becoming this fucking talentless company. Their fucking easy way to design perks in the game that are basically inherently good. That's kind of what this is. Can't think of what to do? Fucking give him a 20% hindered ability on a killer perk. Can't think of what to do? Give him haste. Give him endurance. They'll use it. It's fine. It's the easy way to make it good. That's where this design that's where this design team is at right now. They can't think of anything beyond this. This is as deep as their imagination pool goes. Okay? Let's talk about the issues of Made for This. Okay? I don't know if y'all, it's 3%, bro! It's not that good, bro! Okay, let's talk about why Made for This is so good. Okay? Because admittedly, the 3% movement speed isn't the most destructive in a vacuum. Like, if the game had proper map design, this probably wouldn't be the most insane thing in the entire world. Maybe not. Maybe. That's a very, very maybe. But this is Dead by Daylight, okay? In this game, I don't know if y'all know this, but the tiles have a very disgusting habit of spawning right in each other's assholes, okay? I don't know if y'all know that or not. The tile spacing in this game is horrendously fucking shit. Inherently. And that's not just for one side or the other, by the way. The tile spacing of this game, because it is RNG based, is inherently shit. You will get some setups that have, no pallets, and you'll have some setups that have fucking 12. And it's like a single area. You'll have some setups where there will be, a hill, and there will be some setups where you can get a jungle gem, right? There's some... The varying amounts of power of the different setups in this game is completely fucking absurd. So, yes, if you get a bad RNG spawn, Made for This ain't gonna do much for you. Just like the OG Dead Hard wasn't gonna do much for you if you were at a dead zone, if you were at a thing that you couldn't kite at very well at anyway. It wasn't gonna do much to save you. What this perk is good at is the same thing that Dead Hard was good at. Okay? Not to the same extreme, because Dead Hard could, shoot you 70 meters forward, and Made for This is a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit more subtle. But the main issue with the haste stacking, too, but that's beside the point. The main issue here is, Made for This exploits the bad map design of Dead by Daylight. If you don't think every fucking percentage point matters in this game, you're full of shit. If you don't think that every percentage of haste matters, you're crazy. You're absolutely insane. Especially with this perk's partner, Resilience, and its other partner, Hope, at the end of the game, giving you 110. That needs to go. Hope and Made for This stacking, that needs to go. That shouldn't be there. Haste needs to not be stackable on both sides. Facts. Haste is cancer. And it probably shouldn't be in the game. Skull Merchant. Give her haste. Now she's fine. Just terrible, bro. Absolutely terrible way to design shit. Awful. Awful fucking game design. But yeah, it takes advantage of the inherently of the setups. It makes what it does for Survivor is it turns mid RNG into good RNG. Okay? You take a Survivor setup and that setup, you killer, you look at it, you go, that's mid. You take a mid setup, it turn that mid setup into a good setup, that inherently can destroy M1 Killer. That inherently just fucks M1 Killer in the fucking ass. Because M1 Killer needs everything he can get. And again, Made for This doesn't bother the top tiers. Top tiers are laughing at it. But again, it's one of those perks that it's okay, this makes the top tiers better, the low tiers worse. It's that shit game design. Everything in this game that makes the top tiers better and the low tiers worse is trash. That's the kind of shit we shouldn't do. It's the kind of shit that we just shouldn't be doing. It's such an unnecessary... It's unnecessary. It's against what the perk is supposed to do anyway. You're not supposed to be kiting the killer with this. I don't know why they printed it. Why put a 3% haste status effect on a healing perk? It's stupid to begin with. It's inherently dumb Jeff design here. Patrick would have never let this shit go through. This would have never gone through under Patrick. 100%. 100%. Patrick would have vetoed this idea immediately. Probably did, too. Probably did in the past. But now he's not there to save us from this shit. So does this need a nerf? Of course it needs a fucking nerf. Of course it does. Turning 115 killer into pseudo 110s is very bad. And of course, the 110 turning Bitch Boy into basically a 107, that really hurts him. Turning Shitslinger to 107, that can hurt him situationally. The 110 killers turning them into 107, that really, it turns fucking Huntress into 105. It makes you as fast as Huntress at the end of the game. Survivors can literally go 110. You should never be going as fast as the killer as Survivor. That should not be happening. Ever. And it's consistently happening now. It's consistently, and you get that a little boost off hook too. So I don't mind this part as much. When you get off the hook and you get the 3% haste with the 7% haste, I don't mind that as much. It's the hopes shit that's really got to go. If they delete haste stacking like they should, and then make it so that thing off hook haste is 10%, I wouldn't care about that. The problem here though is that it's arguably the maps that are the real fucking issue here. But here's another thing, lads. They're not fixing the maps. Patrick is dead. He's gone. Patrick is not there anymore with the company. MMR is dead. People be like, oh, they're gonna fix things. No. MMR died the second Patrick walked out that door. Your killer changes died the second he walked out that door. The second Patrick left the company, killer was dead. You weren't, it's not there anymore. Look at the perk design. You're back to getting almost shit. Before Patrick left, you were getting Call of Brine, Scorchhook Pain Rezo, Deadlock. You were getting perks that were consistently usable and consistently targeting those generators. You were getting consistent options. Now Patrick is gone. They've nerfed literally all of his slowdown and unintentionally buffed Pain Rezo. Good job, behavior. But they nerfed all of his shit. It's all gone. Killer slowdown's weaker than it's ever been. Survivor's getting stronger again. That's another thing. Made for this is bringing back that awful meta where being injured is good again. Being injured is good again. Being injured in this game should not be good. Ever. Being injured should never be good. This company has had it ass backwards from the beginning with things like Iron Will and Dead Hard. All the way to where we are now with Resilience, which has always been okay and made for this. This company continues to buff being injured. And plot twist. They continue to buff that fucking state. You should be weaker in that state. It doesn't make any sense to me why they design things the way that they do. In Identity 5, there is nothing good about being injured. Nothing. There is not one damn thing that is good about being injured in Identity 5. Nothing. I don't understand how we have it so ass fucking backwards, where if you're injured, you get this, and you get this, and you get this, and you get this. Making injured a fucking great place to be. And it's just an awful fucking game design that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So, but it's what are we doing with May for this, bro? Well, first of all, it has to be closely monitored and observed, which means you're dealing with it for at least another year. That's what that means. Your subpar shit killers, your average perks, they last 6 months. Survivor's broken shit lasts at least a year. So get used to it. You're going to be stuck with this a while. But it's if everybody wants to say, everyone always likes to say, the movement speed is meaningless. The movement speed is meaningless. It doesn't do anything. I have a suggestion for you on what we could do with the movement speed bonus. Okay? If it doesn't do anything, let's take it out. How about that? Then everybody wins. The movement speed doesn't do anything, so let's get rid of it. How about that? Let's get rid of it. If it really doesn't do anything, let's get rid of it. This is the same thing we said to all the stretched res users. It's literally the same thing. If it doesn't do anything, you will have no problem with getting rid of it. You'll have zero issue with that being removed and having it be the healing perk it's intended to be. The 3% haste made for this has got to go. It takes advantage of already shit things about the game and makes them even more shit. It makes the top tiers better and the low tiers worse. The same fucking shit you've heard over and over and over again. You get more distance when the killer breaks a pallet. You get more distance upon whiffed attacks. You get more distance when you get more distance when the killer vaults. You get more distance here. You get more distance there. You get more distance. That distance is slowly adding the fuck up over time. Did you know that? Everything that you get with that 3% is the difference between a health state and the pallet in your face as a killer. And you know that. There are so many times where you as a killer are going, this guy's moving faster than normal. You can notice who has it. Not every time, because sometimes you're getting inconsistent movement speeds, and sometimes they can feel the same. But it's like, just because they feel the same doesn't mean the perk isn't burning you. That doesn't mean the perk isn't burning you. It doesn't. Just because prove thyself, you're not feeling it in your matches, doesn't mean it's not burning you. Just because these gen speed perks, they're not as visible, doesn't mean they aren't burning you. You'll never know if it was a team of sweaty gen rushers with brand new parts until the end game screen. Which, again, made for this is a little bit more visible because of its healing effect. And if you have a good eye for it, you can actually tell. You can actually tell. Especially in those situations where you know distances. Like if you're doing the same tile over and over again and you know distances between you and them, and like if you should get the spot, then they make it, you go, yep, that was made for this. And resilience, probably too. Combined with the fastball buffs that are in the game right now, holy fucking shit, this shit's broken. It makes M1 terrible. Like the fact that this is a discussion right now, and the fact that a lot of fucking content creators are calling this fine, shows you that we're back to square one, bro. We're back to square one. This is the same fucking shit. This is Dead Hard 2.0. They're calling it fine. Everyone's saying it's fine, bro. Still waiting on that 4 sprint burst meta Scott Junn said was going to happen if you took Dead Hard out. Dead Hard, sprint burst is trash now. You know why sprint burst is trash? Because it doesn't synergize with Made for This. So nobody runs Sprint Burst. Everybody runs Made for This. Sprint Burst doesn't synergize with Made for This, so Sprint Burst is trash. It's not that it's trash. I guess that's a little harsh. It's not trash, but it's Made for This is so good right now. It's so good right now. It's just the amount of locations that become chainable. And again, like as much as y'all will be like to say trash survivors aren't stupid, man. Survivors are not stupid. When you find those good ones, man, they know exactly what they can chain with this. And again, they're not going to tell you about it. They're not going to tell you about it. The good survivors aren't going to fucking tell you what you can chain. Like, the good survivors already know what's possible with this. Especially when you combine it with the resilience and the fast faults and the et cetera, et cetera. Good survivors have already opened up the looping possibilities. They just haven't told you about them. They're going to show you them in their games. You'll see them in the games when you can see what chains together. But it's like you take some of these other tiles, but it's like you shouldn't be running them anyway, I guess. But it's like, okay, you got the jungle gyms, which are even worse now. You got the fucking killer shack, which was already a soft tile before this came in. Now shack is even worse. They find a way to keep making shit worse. It's incredible. It's incredible that they do that. They all like how many times do we say M1 is dead? Like how many times do we say that? But it's like it's because they find a new way to make it worse literally all the time. Like they find new ways to make M1 even worse. When this anti-camp stuff goes in, guess who's affected? M1. You think Spirit Nurse and Blight are going to be affected by these changes, bro? It's like M1 is who gets the short end of the stick every time. But again, survivors don't care. They don't care, bro. They don't care. So that's why this perk is dumb. We've explained the reasons. It's doing what Dead Hard did. It's bringing back the fucking injured meta. It's doing all the shit that it shouldn't be doing. Stuff that we were just past. We just fixed this. We just fixed injured being too good. We just fixed this. MMR just corrected this. That's how you know the system's gone. That's how you know. What's in the game right now is rank-based matchmaking 2.0. It's rank-based matchmaking again. They have polluted the system to ensure trash gets in your killer games. That's what it is. The MMR system that Patrick polluted was like a beautiful ocean that the fucking behavior, BP, came in and dumped the oil in. It's trash. And that's why this shit even looks remotely fair. Because the MMR system is corrupted and polluted so to where you're not seeing effective uses of it as often as you should be. This perk needs to go. The Hope Synergy needs to go. Delete the 3% haste. If it's not doing anything, get rid of it. It's unnecessary. But again, they know it is doing something. That's why the whole campaign for this perk to stay in the game is because the survivors low-key know it's stupid and they know it's busted. They know it's broken. They know it's broken, so they're going to do everything they can to prolong its life. And they will, too. This perk ain't getting nerfed. You think Made for This is getting nerfed? Say the best for last will get hit before Made for This does. Made for This is not going to get nerfed for the rest of the year. If Made for This gets nerfed, my prediction is that if Made for This ever receives a nerf, it will be the summer mid-chapter next year. You will have to deal with this perk another entire calendar year. Get ready for it. It's not going anywhere. You have one whole year left to dealing with this shit. Maybe then they will finally collect enough analysis to fucking nerf the 3% haste on this fucking garbage. Fucking trash. Alright, I'm getting the hell out of here, lads. GG's.